Okay, yes, I see it's moving. Okay, let's go on. I believe you have heard about what I was talking about. I was talking about Web3, and Web3, that's you want to develop something based on Web3, you need to start from this site, wiki.cellframe.net. Here we see the description of how to work with our API. It works on this local host. Request is description of how to connect with. Example, you can just open this site, just our site, stake Cellframe Net. If we will open the page source, and I think it's little obfuscated. Okay, here I think you will figure out yourself. Just let's focus on this API and from what we need to begin if you work with. First of all, you need to connect the wallet connection function. For connection, you need the Cellframe application. Cellframe application, I just let's see, have I installed? Yes, I have installed. Wallet, Cellframe wallet. Let's run Cellframe wallet. Here I'll create just some concept. Here you can select between two modes. Local mode is connected with your node, and maybe you'll prefer this. However, to check how we work, usual user, you use the light mode. Okay, I will this mode, get started, create new wallet, you select single signature, multi-signature. It's possible, by the way, to compose a lot of signature same time. By the way, it's a unique thing. You can just add dilithium, for example, Falcon, and to encrypt the same time, if one signature will be correct, another will stay. So it's possible the use is the same this way. However, I will stay on our default single signature. It's crystal dilithium. Multi-signature has a bigger fee. If you for transaction, I mean. So let's stay on the single. Also coming some more things. Here you don't select version 1 legacy. It's only to import. I think we need to hide it in settings. I don't understand why it's present here. Recovery, export, just temporary wallet. Protected it just to protect it with a password. I understand everything. Wallet name. Test. It will be test. Okay, save it. Yes. Okay, here we have, and if you go to stake and connect CF wallet, you need to allow it to connect in your local network, because it connects through the local port. You remember? Yes, that I told port. This port is open on your local with this Cellframe local. You see, request to work with you should allow. Oh, great, done. And they were entered into the stake. No wallet. So again, let's connect. Hello. Test. We have a wallet. Confirm it. And we can now operate with this. And here you, as a site developer, I believe you are more experienced than me, but let's try to build some thing from scratch. And here I will say for simple return visit web site with Web3 demonstration of Cellframe Network Web3 API, and we'll feed it. So you don't need to dive deep. You just can take a cursor, feed it with this reference taking site example of is Cellframe Web 3, and you give it. As I said before, it will be a story about deep details of how work. You don't need it. You just need to write something like this. Here I use SLC. It's my extension. It's my private extension. Because you don't have it, just make little more complicated prompts. Okay, we'll have it here, and why I say Python. Maybe we can use something different, because I want that to integrate with a local node. I will show what I'm talking about. And here we use as a reference to work, and pause everything and phases and tasks. Okay, let's go. Let's see what it will do. Sorry, it's still in Russian. English. It's engine based, built in Russian. So okay. Let's switch to. Okay. It's working. While it's coding, I will show you some more things that I want to show. I mentioned the Cellframe node. By the way, we're a problem with the streaming. We check still streams well or not. Oh, looks at streams. Oh, I see a lot of questions. Let me answer on your questions. And first on business is ready. How do service chains interact with the main network, and when is this worth deploying one? For current moment, they interact through the centralized parts through the bridge. It has no peer-to-peer interaction, unfortunately. So they interact through the bridge. Peer-to-peer P2P interaction, they are planning on the next year. For sure. However, until this direct connection goes through the bridge, for users it doesn't matter. By the way, we have a single wallet address space. So for user, if you send from Backbone to KLVPN or somewhere else, for you it's transparent because everything will take the bridge by itself. However, they have a less interaction. But anyway, it works. So specific thing goes in specific first level shard. Okay, what was how does it work? Thank you, Konstantin, for answering. On this, what's the best way to structure TDF to tell full advantage of Cellframe multi-chain design? Multi-chain design, you will use transparently. You don't need to anything specific to code with multi-chain. You don't need to interact with this chain directly. You have API to work with the networks. It's like parachain. I will show how it works. What current limitation of the DEP SDK, not CAP, and what plan next for the DEF usability? I will talk about this a little more. Okay, let's go on. We'll see what it's coding. It does some. It's still composing task. Well, here it's just also a little about wipe coding. When you wipe code, you first of all need to take it to compose tasks, not to don't go to the development just from the beginning. First of all, you need to compose tasks. Without my extension, you will compose it in MD file. But anyway, you need to compose tasks to decompose your solution, to produce more phases and subphases. Okay. And while we still here with Web3 API, I think it's generally understandable how you will work. After you will connect from UI, next what you do is you call after connect the get wallets. Get wallets returns a list of wallets, and then with them you need to obtain authorization from the wallet to let it to go to the site, and then you just work with all these things. It's generally a lot of let's see some example. It's example of JSON objects. It's everything through the JSON. Some description of things. Let's talk about one thing, very important thing. It's conditional transaction. If you have experience in Web3, it's I think only the thing that you will be confused with, because you know how to develop everything with smart contracts, but here we have no smart contracts. How you will develop your Web3 application without smart contracts? You see, we have staking, so it's workable staking, but without smart contracts. Here, how it works. TX, conditional transaction. It's the core of everything in Web3, conditional transaction. Please, if you are still with us, write something in the chat and say that you understand or don't understand what I'm talking about. Conditional transaction is transaction that has no just a usual transaction, has output with a wallet address, and the wallet address owner can use its output. It's like a coin, so you can call it conditional coin. So it's output, unspent output that closed with condition. In this condition can include different logic. So it likes no-code blocks, then can act in your application like a microservice, like something like this. And this is also comparable with Satoshi script in Bitcoin, by the way. Here, it's most important thing in this function. ID, it's just ID of call, net, name of the network. Also important things, network. We have backbone, it's a core network. We'll go, by the way, in Cellframe, for example, and we'll call it's CLI, it's a console tool, and we'll say net list. You see it's two active networks. For example, if we'll see the net backbone, it's our main backbone. Get status. We see that we are still thinking chains. It's 31%. And here, by the way, it's a point of integration. So if your application not related with Web3, it's maybe you want to bring exchange or maybe some your own wallet here, and CLI, it's your main tool. By the way, a lot of things they repeating. So this is a network. Then the token name, another important thing that differs us from other blockchain. Maybe I'll start to, maybe I need to know them, who knows. Let's record them, yes. Here we have, yes, it was a stream URL. Okay, I hope you will connect to our stream. Discard. Okay, here we'll say that CF difference. What's the difference? How it differ from other networks? Really, first difference that I actually no smart contracts. Conditions tricks in place of them. Another difference that we have token name is unique. At least it's a principle for backbone. On different networks, possible to make them not unique. However, in our network, they are unique on the backbone. They are also pre-moderated for listing. It also can be different in different networks. So, network per chain. So, what we have on the level of the network, chains inside network could be many, but usually don't care. That's also an important thing. And what do we have in TDApp? About TDApp a little later. So here, network, that's the network. Token name of the token that's used for transaction from your wallet. So you create it from your wallet. It will select free unspent output by itself. Don't care about it. Certificate name that will be used for signing off this transaction. Maybe you need it, maybe you don't need it. It depends, by the way, from what you are doing. It depends from it's usually optional. So, for example, here you create a conditional transaction for, I think it's for VPN service, and it creates a service ID. It's old format of conditional transaction. Modern one differs, but it's the default one that just describes the service ID service, and this service then produce the check to prove that the service was provided. I will not dive too deep in this. It's more details you'll find in Cellframe SDK documentation. However, it works. Here there are some more specific things because of these services. There are such things like orders. Orders, it's orders on some service that you're providing on your TDApp. So maybe if you'll start to develop your service, you need to think about ID, units that will provide. Here is VPN, maybe days, maybe hours. If you provide some different service, it has different units. Then some unique ID. Don't use such small numbers, maybe to select some bigger. Okay, and there is example, by the way, of possible units. It's IDs. Functions to get at least, and etc. and etc. Also, important thing, we have a built-in DEX. I don't remember for sure present it here or not. As far as I remember, it has this exchange. I don't remember. No, it's still not up. Okay, it's a built-in Cellframe wallet, by the way. It's here. We have here exchange, but it's this exchange doesn't work, still doesn't work with LP pairs. We are working on this to bring it up. So there is space right now, no space, possibilities window or some moment when you can make LP aggregation software. So you see we have here DEX order list. You just you create pairs, and in these pairs there are orders, or per case order, sell order. You can place these orders, and these orders are here. Let's select, for example, LKL. It's still in beta version, so you see it's almost no trading here, but I think you can run it and engage. And because we have a bridging, you can connect it with Ethereum, some parts. For example, we have a pair in USDC, and by the way, our Rapid USDC token, it's proved with a Circle, so it's almost official listing, by the way. Okay, I don't think here. Let's see. Maybe we'll see here more orders. Okay, that's orders. That's orders. So you can just make some trading bot here, operating with this. Okay, this is just overview of its abilities. Most important things are orders. Better you to study them better here. They describe it here, by the way. So you can read the architecture overview and some other things you see. And I will not dive deep here. Let's return to something more related with cryptography. I see you're asking for post-quantum things. And if you just want to integrate post-quantum encryption, I want you to propose some things that's still not, you see, it's still not merged. It's a bug fix, but supposed to be merged soon in release 6.0. And here, it's much more easy to use. It's Python dep. That's a package with encryption itself. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. I am back. Okay, I'm waiting for the stream. I need to see streams and we'll continue. Okay, I see it streams well. Okay, let's continue. Just was the hard drive overfilled with everything. Okay, let's return to what we have here. Here we wipe coding some sort of site. We have the application. We have this everything. Okay. Now, until it coding, I will go to some simpler things related more with cryptography. Maybe for somebody from you, it's better to start from such simple things. Let's start from the Python, from dep SDK and Python dep. Python dep here you can download from, let's show, from GitLab. Python dep here. I think better you to start from this RC60. There are also only 3 branches. Download RC60. By the way, a little more complicated way to use 6.0 because it's not stable. However, it's more user-friendly. So you see, we develop a demo. Let's create an dep SDK Python dep demo. And here we are. Git clone this one. Yes. Cloning repository. While it's cloning, let's see how we are wipe coding. While I was talking with you, you see it's coded something. Oh, it's some Python application. Python web application. You see, it's reference implementation, wallet connection, balances. You see, it did most of the work for me, and it can do it for you. By the way, Cloud Sonnet and most of Gemini, most of AI, coding AI, they are familiar with Cellframe. They know about it. They know about Cellframe, about Python bindings. So you can just ask it about it. Maybe just an example with our SLC. You can ask and it answers. So here we see it compose some demonstrating, and let's see if it works. You see it has a also open. Most of connection should go, as I understand, through the yes, from this API. Here is API for testnet. So if you'll test everything in testnet, you will work through this API. This for mainnet as well. Some other thing I believe doesn't important for us. This backend. Backend just usual Python backend. Nothing interesting. Just that it brought up Docker. Okay, it's not interesting because the most interesting thing should be here. And here it still haven't coded. Okay, left in coding. Left in the coding, and let's return to our Python dep that we also want to mention. Python dep, after downloading, you see it has a dep SDK. It's a binary C library. So Python dep is a wrapping about around C library, and it's pretty fast, by the way, because of this. So we have must in it all submodules. Update them as well, and here it's a cloning dep SDK big enough. It could take time. Here is also lack of documentation, but we'll dive into the code. You see the modulus config. It's a config parser, by the way. I will show you some examples. Where I code them as haven't added them, so just will copy. Maybe I here will add. It's a branch RC60. Yes, it's a branch RC60. Sorry. What the branch is here? It's not committed. So we have some documentation, and what's most important, some examples. So here we are. There are some examples, and we'll definitely work with them. After you have cloned Python dep and initialized its submodules like dep SDK, why it's created this libraries. I have gained Python dep. Let's read in workshop. Here we are in workshop, and here we download it. Let's stay here, really. workshop 00 python.demo python. Here we are. Okay. Let's create a build directory and build it by itself. By the way, if you don't want to build binary projects, there is a pub cellframe.net. You can find Linux and Python dep. And release candidate that's not here, I see, but it's master one. It's wheel package. Generally, you could install wheel. By the way, why not? Some old thing, I think. July. Okay, better to build your own. CMake. And it compiles. Generally, you should be okay to compile with this if you are a developer. If you are a web developer, you should be okay with this. No any complicated configuration, just compile. J is to break it on this a lot of threads. It's just to speed up the process. You don't enter J6 like I have entered. Just enter make. It will be enough. Okay, link it. Some tests haven't linked it, but don't care about it. cpack. Let's pack it. Okay, it's. I will fix it a little later. Right now, let's go to the package here. It's built. This build before it should work. Here it's old one. What it was. Okay, to speed up the process, I will ask. I will ask Cursor to fix it. By the way, please improve a little, so it's okay to be polite with AI. Okay, what was this? Okay, well, AI is fixing this. I will go deep and we'll see what is in examples. Example first, we'll start from core example. It's a dep initialization. Dep library initialize with a single init. So everything is simple. You can just doesn't enter anything. Just init, it will be enough. So another way thing is configuration. It has a few things in this, so it shows. Another important thing is login. Maybe not important for usual Python developer, but if you develop your own plugin, better you to use login in this. So you need don't use a print itself how it's shown. You need to set up login and then log with this. You see, login sys debug info warning. You can import this like I don't know. Dep import from the plugin dep. Something like this. And then you can just write this way and log in logs. There are different things that there are inside. There is a time operation, some system statistics, that's common file. The most interesting for you, okay, it's the signatures. Let's go to the cryptography and how it works with the signatures. From DEP crypto model, there are such objects like DAP key, it's your key, private key or pair. It could be a pair of private and public key or just a public key. I'm not sure there is a possibility to operate with just private key, because private key usually acts with public key as well. But if we're talking about symmetric encryption, obviously you have only private key. So DEP key is not only about signature. For example, if we'll go for quick encryption, AI call it, you see it, not me, we'll found symmetric encryption example. So here how it works. And it works like, you see, use DEP key and encrypts it symmetric, and then encrypt with this. I'm not sure where it creates key itself. I think it should create it somewhere. Miss it create. Maybe it creates just on the fly. I'm not sure. Usually you don't operate key by itself. So key can be created. There is API in this key. For example, we'll open, I think better to open really its sources. I operate with sources. I think if you are not, we can just ask for AI. Reported, but not ready to use. Oh, it says it's fixed. Not fix it. Okay, I will fix it a little later about it, because you see it's still in development. However, it's a new release 6.0 API that's much better. You see how it looks like. Dep sign, verify. Everything is simple. You see signature with a key. So everything looks well. But if we'll go to existing legacy API, Cellframe, not the UI. Don't remember for sure how it names. Yes, Mika, I will use your software just to show how it works. That's, I think, biggest example of our API exploitation. So I will clone it. And let's open this. Here is a plugin. So if you want to install it, you see you need to copy it to the, there is a description of what you need to do. Most important thing is that you need to place it in a Cellframe node, how it looks like. As I began, it's about plugins. So you have some built-in blocks like orders, like conditional transactions. There are a lot of different conditional transactions, by the way, and you can connect them together. So you need to run some backend software that will run. One runs on the side of the node. So here I think we can do this one. And then we go to the configuration file and goes down. You see. It's enabled by default. I see. And if we'll do the service Cellframe node restart. Как-то нету. maybe it was disabled. Who knows? Let's try. Well, if I will stop it. Inactive. 1 second ago. Okay. Okay. And let's start it again. And I need so when it loads, it should say that it has a plugin. Loads. Okay, it takes some time, maybe 10 minutes. Let's see what was. Okay, we'll report. Point to return result. Okay, let it code for a little. So that's the third example of application. Maybe you became now a little overloaded, but there is a 3 variants. Variant number one that we develop is a Cellframe Web 3. It's a Web 3 application. Python dep demo. It's some small scripts that utilize its encryption. Like what's this? I don't know. Maybe it's some network application or something with encryption that's shown before. And that's the third variant. It's the Cellframe not plugin. It works with plugin. Here you see the application that works just UI for masternode. Here is a very interesting example, by the way, because it registers in the CF simple HTTP request handle. It's our legacy dep API to register in our built-in HTTP server. So here it works with this built-in server, doesn't require anything else. And it's a good example, by the way, of CFNet, Notify, our API. Work with config. It's not. It's with dep as well. Yes, it works with dep. With dep configs. By the way, what example? Here is example with of work with dep configs, and a lot of things wrap it around because legacy is really hard to work with our legacy API. That's why I have begun with simpler things. And simpler things are here in Python dep demo, but it was broken just before translation. Incredible that I had before build the packages. So anyway, don't worry, I will fix it quick after this translation, and I will publish any packages here. Maybe I will need to try from here, but this is the old one. I need to build the new one. So you see July 29. Okay, return to our project. TDApp, returning to TDApp. Let's describe what we have as TDApp. TDApp is a mix of node plugin. Usually mandatory. But no mandatory things. It's could be also wallet extension. Wallets also has its extension API. I'm not sure it's described on our site, but should be. Wiki, Cellframe Net. I just will mention this. We'll not dive deep because too many things on the one session, I understand. Somewhere it was software wallet. Also, not sure that there is an extension. There is no extension description. Just it's present, so it's possible. Wallet has extension, just not documented. So wallet extension, optional. Also optional. Everything is optional. With not plugin, if you have it, usually you need your own network. Usually you need, because this node plugin must be installed by the node holders, node owners. So they need a reason to install your plugin. And usually if you bring up your own L1 protocol, so not everyone requires to have a node plugin. And conditional transaction serialization. There are a lot of them. With a small overview of possible conditional transactions, if you open some of this, they're all related with these things. For example, there is exchange. So services, it's TDF. Service, also optional, but usually it is. Because it can be optional, it can be stored in our dedicated storage, also pre-moderated, so not everyone will be allowed to put his service inside. However, if you bring up optional pre-moderated list of services backbone, your own network. So if you build your own network, you don't care about any pre-moderated list, you can just also include your service. So usually service provided by node plugin and with wallet extension as UI, but it's also could be Web3 site. Both way, it could be wallet extension as UI. That's right here, UI. Backend. Address part of backend. Additional concept. And here is middleware. Transactions. Here I will add orders. Service orders. Or just orders. Order book. We have order book. Let's say so. Conditional transactions, order book, something like this. So, examples. VPN, most common example. Possible TDApps. Dedicated storage, AI running and training, video streaming to help me to stream it for like I do it right now. Okay, so here was a TDApp in our ecosystem. Okay, I think it was just brief overlook of all things that we have. Continue. Just continue. Okay, well, it continued. Let's talk a little more about what we can do with this and what have you? What do you want to make? And let's talk about what are your questions? Let's see what you're asking for. The running questions. Konstantin helped me a lot to answering on the questions and translation. Okay, I think it was all the overview of abilities that provided by our SDK. Tomorrow and after tomorrow, I will record a little more and publish it as well, because I think I need to dive a little more in the plugins in Web3, and here was just a review. Put your questions in this chat for this translations. I will answer maybe on them a little later. Thank you for your attention. Thank you, everyone. That's all for today.